In this demonstration, I'd like to show how artwork cells work in Microwave Office. Here you see a Microwave Office project. It's a very simple stub filter. The schematic is on the right. Its schematic layout is on the left. If you look over here to the left of the software, toward the top of the layout browser, you'll notice it says cell libraries. And these are where layout cells are stored in various cell libraries. Here we have one existing library, AWR PCB via, and one cell in that library. There could be multiple cells. The simplest way to use an artwork cell is to select the library. So I'm right on AWR PCB via, and we look down here and you'll notice the cell is listed through. I go down and I simply select that cell, left click, hold down the left mouse button and drag it into my schematic layout. And you can see there is an instance now of that cell if we go ahead and zoom in. And I can repeat this operation. I can either keep dragging in the cell, as you see here, or if I wish to, I could simply select the cell in the layout, Control-C, Control-V, copy, paste, and create a new cell. The cell itself, if we go back up here to the cell libraries, double-click on through, and you can see the artwork cell as it exists. If I change this cell, I will change all the instances of it. There's another way to use artwork cells and associate them with a model. I'd like to demonstrate that now. So the first thing that we want to do is go up to cell libraries, and I'm going to create a whole new cell library. And I will call this package. I have a choice of saving it with DXF or GDS2 formatting. These are layout languages. DDXF is used by layout board people. GDS2 used by chip people, and we're going to use DXF since this is a board. You'll notice package appears with the DXF in the icon. I now right-click, new layout cell, and we will call this layout cell inductor 1005. It's going to be the footprint for an inductor package. In metric units, it would be 1 millimeter by half a millimeter. You can see here I created the cell, and we have an artwork cell layout environment ready to draw our cell. To draw the cell, what I do is I want to start by selecting the draw layer on the left. All this drawing goes exactly the same as in schematic layout. And I'm going to select the layer package, and I start drawing my rectangle. Let's skip ahead to the finished layout and see how that looks for our cell. And here we go. This is what our cell looks like when we're finished. And what I did here is I drew the package, 1 millimeter by half a millimeter. And then on the purple layer, that's solder mask, and I drew two rectangles for the solder mask region in the layout. Finally, notice that I put on something called cell ports. Here's cell port 1, and on the right, cell port 2. These are simply drawn by selecting the cell port icon. The easiest way to get to it is up here at the top of the software. So I go up and select the cell port icon, and I draw the cell port from a beginning point to an end point, and the arrow appears. This is where the connectivity line, or rat line, is going to attach to the element. In this case, I will undo port 3. We have 2 ports because the model is going to be an inductor, which also has 2 ports. So let's go ahead and finish this up by associating this cell with the model in the schematic and then the connectivity with the rat lines. When I go to close the cell, it says, do I want to edit the changes? This is so you cannot use the change cell or the created cell until you say yes here in this menu. I'm going to say no because I've already made the cell. We now go to the schematic, and the way this would work, I've already completed this here. You'll notice this inductor. This is a simple inductor, and when I double click, I get the properties of this inductor, and there's a tab for layout. Notice the library name package, that's the library we created. Inductor 1005 is our cell. It's appearing here because there are 2 ports for an inductor, and they would match up with the 2 ports of the cell. I OK out of that menu, and now notice when we go back to layout, I can actually do this by select and layout, and you'll see that this inductor is right here. If I pull the stub away, notice the inductor has the rat lines, the connectivity lines that were added because of the cell ports in the artwork cell. I'll do a select all here and snap back together. And we are using the artwork cell associated with an element, the inductor, and the associated connectivity because of the cell ports in the cell.